Hi YouTube, M6CB back again with another video. Today I want to do a review on the Retevis RT90. Now this is a really nice radio. I've had it a couple of weeks now and I really wanted to give you a good look round it and highlight some of its features. So without further ado, let's begin. So let's have a quick look at the radio now. Let's have a close-up of it. Now the first thing that struck me, you'll have to excuse me, I've got I'm full of a cold, so if I sound a bit poorly then I apologise. But yeah, the first thing that struck me about this radio was its build quality and its weight. It's really heavy, like some of the big Yaesus, Kenwoods, that sort of thing. It's got a really nice weight to it, and it feels solid. This is the GPS version, so you can see with the side with the sticker GPS. So yeah, it's probably about the same sort of size as a Yaesu FTM100. You know, the normals, you know, nothing. It hasn't got a detachable face. That's one thing about it that some people have asked me about that. And the face does not come off this radio, but it does have a cooling fan on the back. So you can see the cooling fan there. So that's really nice. I don't know if you saw my Retevis RT95. That only did like sort of 20 watts anyway, so I suppose it didn't really need a fan. This one will do 50 watts on high power. So yeah, you've got the fan there. You've got a data port there. I don't know if you can see it. It's sort of just like a mini USB size data port. I don't think you can control the radio. You know, if you had some packet software on your PC, I don't think you can control it with that port. And then you also have an external speaker port there that's covered up. And we have the SO239 on the back there as well. Obviously a fuse on the inline on the positive there. And then we have the microphone. Just hoping that this is all in shot. So yeah, the microphone's really heavy. That's one thing I do notice. It's really got a nice weight to this microphone. You've got some like an LED indicator there. I think it goes green when you're receiving signal and then red when you TX. A little microphone there. There's no buttons on the sides anywhere, like an up and down or anything. It's all on the front, apart from your PTT. So yeah, you basically got all your buttons that you need on the front. So having a quick look at the menu now. So we've got the power button there. So you just obviously hold it, turns it on and off. This is a volume dial, which I quite like. Some of the radios have a sort of a digital style volume control where you have to use, like, you know, the buttons to go up and down, whereas this is really fine, so I really like that. So you got like sort of an SOS button there on the orange button there. I think you can program that in the software. I will be doing a video on this, you know, a programming guide on this radio. So if you're interested in that, leave a comment and I'll get on with that quite quickly. And then you've got 4 programmable buttons on the bottom there. They obviously have dual purpose, like most DMR radios. If you're familiar with them, most of these buttons just have a dual purpose. So you short press for one thing and then you long press for the other thing. And then this button here changes the channel or the frequency. As far as I know, this doesn't have a VFO mode as such. You just program the VFOs into channels. So I've got like a channel that's 145-200, 145-250, 145-300. You know, and you can just click through it like this. In fact, I'll show you. We might as well have a look. So to get into the menu, just press enter. So then we'll just do it in zones, like most DMR radios. So as you can see, I've got these. See, I keep clicking that to change because I'm used to my Alliance HD1. So yeah, you go into zone, then use the up and down arrows. So we go to zone list. See, I just did it again. Zone. Yeah, so here we go. We use up and down arrows. So we've got a couple of my local repeaters in there, GB7FO and GB7PR, and then I've also got my hotspot. I mean, obviously this is very overkill for a hotspot, you know. You're better off with like a handy for the hotspot, but I've got it in there anyway, just might as well while I was programming it. And then there's my Simplex. So if I hit Simplex, you'll see, there you go, after you just turn 145, 250, 75, 3 and so on. So that's how I do, like as a VFO, and I can go right up into 77s there. So yeah, this is a dual band radio. It has 4 power levels. I don't know if you can see on the display there. We've got a medium, high. So we've got low power, medium 1, medium 2, and high, which is the 50. Now I'm not sure, according to the Retevis website, it only has 2 power levels, which obviously you can see there it has 4. So when I get to Wayne's house, G0HIJ, big shout out to you, Wayne, we'll give it a test and we'll find out what power this does and what actually are the power levels. And we'll also be doing a full written review on this on the website, so check the link in the description and check that out. So basically that's how I do it. So I just have the zones, and I've got my repeaters zone there. So these are some of my local analog repeaters that I've put in there. So I'll have a quick look at the menus now. So I can't get scan to work. I mean, I might be missing something, but when I press scan, it doesn't scan, even though I've got scan lists on the programming software. So I'm really not sure what that is. It is running the latest firmware. This is 6 point something. Let me find out what the latest firmware is. So there you go. This one is version 6.009. And then the programming software on the computer is 1.24. So as I was filming this video, this is the latest firmware. So let's go back. That's where you put your DMR number. So yeah, you can, by the looks of this, program it to a point on the actual front of the radio. But I highly recommend that you use software to do it. It makes it so much easier. And once you've programmed one, you've programmed them all then. So that's that. So let's have a quick look. We've got talk around, tones and alerts. You can turn all the keypad tones off, which is really good. We've got power levels. These are the power levels that I was talking about before. So there is 4 of them, although I don't know which ones are which. Usually I just use the lowest power, and I can get into my local repeaters no problem whatsoever on the lowest. So I'm guessing that's probably sort of 5 watts. Backlight, you can have the backlight time, however, you know, and you can adjust the brightness of the backlight, which is very good as well. Squelch. Now I've set mine to 1. This radio on FM does seem to have a bit of an issue. I get a lot of popping. If the signal's a bit distant and the stations are coming through and they're quite a fair distance away, it pops. But I get around this by I've programmed P1 button. If I hold it, it lets the monitor through, so it opens the squelch fully. So that's how I get around that, and then I can hear them no problem at all. So I can just turn that off there. So basically that's how I get around that. They might fix that with an update, I'm really not sure. I've seemed to have changed all the settings I can to do with squelch, and it still seems to do it, so I'm not sure. So yeah, it's basically just the same. You can change your intro screen, keypad lock, you can put a password on it, the clock, mode, contact CSV. So this can store 100,000 contacts on this radio, and I've basically put the as many as I can with the countries like UK, USA. So I've put as many of the contacts in as I can. There's a good website, I'll put it in the link in the description, where you can get the contacts for this radio. So yeah, that's really good. I'm just thinking if there's anything I've missed. Menu hang time, obviously how long it stays in the menus before it goes back to the default, before it goes back to there. But yeah, all in all, it's a really nice radio. Microphone is an RJ45, so that's there. The manual that you get for this radio is quite extensive. It's got quite a lot into it. I haven't really found that I've needed to look at the manual as much. To be honest, it's quite straightforward. It's very similar to most other DMR radios. There's not really much difference in it. You know, there's not a lot in it really. So yeah, that's the radio anyway. So I'm really impressed with it. It's a really nice radio. Currently at the moment on the Retevis website it's $360 I think. As I say, this is the GPS model. So I'll put a link in the description where you can buy this radio directly from Retevis, which is where I'd recommend getting it from, as their support seems to be quite good, and they really are stand by the products, so I'm quite impressed with Retevis really. Right, anyway, so that sort of wraps it up. As I say, I'll do a programming guide on this radio, so you can have a look at how to program yours. As I say, there is a Titera version of this radio, so I suppose it'll apply to that as well. So yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for watching the video, I really appreciate it. Hopefully you found the video useful if you're thinking of buying one. If you have one, leave a comment and I'll get back to you. Let's get a discussion going. And hope, as I say, I hope you found it useful. So please like, comment and subscribe for more videos. Don't forget to put the bell notification on so you don't miss anything when I next upload. And I've been M6CB. You've been very kind to watch. 73.